Kone could be Fabinho's heir. Liverpool could replace Fabinho's presence in this window with a move to Borussia Mönchengladbach as Manu Kone, a player the Reds have been tied for over the summer. Jürgen Klopp may see the two midfielders split up ahead of the 2023-2024 campaign. Both Brazilian and Jordan Henderson are linked to lucrative moves to Saudi Arabia. Named as a potential summer target for Liverpool by Fabrizio Romano in January, Kone may still be on track to make his way to Merseyside. This week, reporter Christian Falk revealed that the midfielder is on the wanted list by sporting director Jürgen. The French player, valued at around €40 million by his club, could be a valuable asset to Klopp's squad if the sales speculated are made this summer. Described as a one-man army by talent scout Jacek Kulik for his performance against Bundesliga champions Bayern Munich earlier this year, the 22-year-old could mean a rejuvenated midfield refresh at Anfield. While Fabinho's presence has been an integral part of Liverpool's progress over the past year, the Premier League and Champions League winner is expected to leave Merseyside after 5 memorable years. Kone could be the one to fill the void left by the 29-year-old's wait to go to Al Ittihad, and they both display similar strengths in their approach to the game. When comparing the two to their respective 2022-23 campaigns via FBref comparisons, it's clear how fruitful the change in player can be, with Fabinho showing a slight drop in form compared to years ago. A combative midfielder, Kone has surpassed the Brazilian player's recorded tackles per game. While averaging 2.2 for the 29-year-old, Kone emphasized a militant presence in the engine room with an average of 2.6. One area of the French player's game that could be crucial for adding a rejuvenated exit to the middle of the park is his approach to progressive play compared to Fabinho. Fabinho in the Liverpool engine room averaged 0.5 progressive carry and 0.2 successful carry per game, while Kone averaged 2.1 progressive carries and 1.9 successful starts per game. And he demonstrated his dominance in transitional ownership. Hailed as having sublime distribution by journalist Maxi Angelo, Fabinho will be a missed presence in the middle of the park for a complex pass, but the Campinas-born duel's departure may be mitigated by Kone's arrival. Reportedly at a £40 million fee for Fabinho, the Reds could return the funds spent to sign the midfielder from Monaco in 2018 for £43.7 million. It's clear that he was making the most of the player during his time at Anfield. The funds raised could open the door for Liverpool to make a potential sniper for Kone in a deal that could prove to be a stellar piece of work by the 6-time European champion. Jürgen Klopp said the 20-year-old Liverpool teenager really impressed him yesterday. Liverpool boss Jürgen Klopp praised young Conor Bradley's performance at last night's pre-season opening. The Reds started the 2023-2024 season by beating Karlsruhe 4-2 in Germany, and Bradley was given the chance to impress right back in a strong-looking Liverpool 11. Trent Alexander-Arnold started midfield as a clear indication that Klopp was staring at his assistant. Speaking after the match, the Liverpool manager nodded to Bradley and several of his teammates. "Look, the first half was clear, the new guys, the counter-press was the best," Jürgen began. "So they openly say, 'Oh my God,' the boss said, and they go. They all have to do it. It's not because it was my idea, it's just because we had to partner. I love Dom, he looked really good, especially when he was half left. Bobby Clark did a really good job, Conor Bradley was great, so they all gave positive marks," he said. There was a lot to like about Liverpool's squad table yesterday. But one of the biggest talking points was definitely Klopp's use of Alexander-Arnold and Bradley. Maybe it was due to the lack of other options, but in fact Trent started the game for the first time in a suitable midfield for Liverpool. Of course, she played the hybrid role about a dozen times. Still, it had always been right back. Until last night in Germany, the 24-year-old had never been given complete freedom in the middle of the pitch. It will be very interesting to see if this is something Klopp is considering for the new season. You get the feeling that whether it does or not will depend on two factors. First, can Liverpool bring in new bodies? It's hard to see where there is room for Alexander-Arnold if they sign a midfielder or two. But the latter will depend on what Bradley is up to between now and August 13th. If he can prove he's ready to step up to Jürgen, we could see him start the season as Liverpool's right back. This could then allow Trent to rise up and perhaps make some money for the Reds. Klopp will have to decide this quickly. There is no time to waste trying to close the gaps in the roster that will open in the next few days. But judging by Bradley's reaction to his 45 minutes here, perhaps an in-house solution can be found. It seems that Klopp seeing Arnold as a part of the midfield in the new season will indeed become clear after a few friendlies. Diogo Jota was seriously impressed by the 24-year-old Liverpool man. Diogo Jota admitted that Liverpool was really impressed by Alexis Mac Allister's signing of his debut last night. Jota spoke after Liverpool recorded a 4-2 win over Karlsruhe in the pre-season friendly. Coach Jürgen Klopp used two separate teams each half to give as many players a chance to form as possible. The Reds opened the score early through Darwin Núñez, who initially tried to pass the ball to Mohamed Salah, and eventually applied the finish himself. Liverpool then fell back after Karlsruhe scored on both sides at half-time. However, a goal by Cody Gakpo and a late support by Diogo Jota gave Liverpool victory in Germany. Speaking after the match, Jota admitted that he was happy to play with Alexis Mac Allister in Liverpool. The Argentine arrived a few weeks ago from Brighton for £35 million as part of rebuilding Klopp's midfield. He already seems to have made a good impression on his new teammates on the pitch. Jota was impressed by Liverpool's new teammate, Mac Allister. A reporter asked the Portuguese forward, "You seem to have a really good sense tonight. How good was this connecting game between you and Alexis Mac Allister?" Jota said, "I really like these types of players, I have to tell you. They can see the pass and you almost just have to run and it's amazing. I'm starting to see that I can connect very well with him and hopefully we can carry that into the season," he said. Mac Allister's debut was well received by the media full-time. Liverpool's pass to Jota for their last goal was a sign of what he could do for his new club. At Fabinho, he lauded the Argentinian, but his departure from the club was reportedly imminent. Jota may be one of the few Liverpool players to take advantage of Mac Allister's excellent passing range next season. Initial indications are that the 24-year-old will pull the strings from the bottom of the midfield alongside Trent Alexander-Arnold. In addition to these creative passes, Mac Allister is a name that can make a sign for himself. Last season, he scored 10 goals in the league with Brighton and proved how much he can affect the score. Liverpool can take the scoring contribution that they haven't been able to get from the midfield for a long time this year. The Argentine player also tried to apply the high pressure Klopp wanted effectively and definitely gave confidence for the future.